Jwwilliams funeral directors have been proudly serving the people of this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcers for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Ms. Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you. Dedications and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of Miss Estella Williams of New Rochelle, New York, the family of Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Miss Estella Williams, age 80, of New Rochelle, New York, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, December 28, 2024, at the New Jewish Home, Sarah Newman in New York. The public visitation for Miss Estella Williams, age 80, was held Tuesday, January 14, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted grandchildren, Mr. Roger Dean of Richmond, Virginia, Mr. Jonathan Redd of New Rochelle, New York, and Miss Cheyenne Williams Smith, a host of beloved nieces and nephews, many cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Miss Estella Williams, age 80, of New Rochelle, New York, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper, age 64, of 131 Robin Drive, Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, January 11th, at the Emory University Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. The funeral service for Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper, age 64, was held Saturday, January 18th, in the sanctuary of the Davis Chapel CME Church in Arabi, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Arnell Werber, officiated. The eulogy was delivered by his beloved brother-in-law, the Reverend Lorinda Ray, pastor of the beautiful Zion Baptist Church. The burial followed at the Hardshell Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Marilyn Ray Hopper of Cordele, Georgia, His beloved and devoted son, Mr. Alfred Hopper, Jr. of Atlanta, Georgia. His loving and devoted sisters, Ms. Mary Steele of McDonald, Georgia, and Mrs. Martha Huffins of Cordele, Georgia. His brothers-in-law, Stuart Charles Ray, Jr., the Reverend Lorinda Ray and his fiancée, Miss Fanny Pollard, Deacon Ronnie Ray and his wife, Mrs. Cheryl Ray, Mr. Bobby Ray and his wife, Mrs. Tamika Ray, all of Cordele, Georgia, and Deacon Godfrey Ray and his wife, Mrs. Brenda Ray of Moultrie, Georgia. His beloved sisters-in-law, Miss Deborah Hopper, Mrs. Thelma Hopper, Mrs. Minnie Hopper, and Mrs. Julia Hopper, all of Cordele, Georgia. Mrs. Josephine Knight and Miss Nelson Singleton of Palm Bay, Florida. Mrs. Betty Brown of Jacksonville, Florida, and Dr. Jennifer Ray of Savannah, Georgia. A devoted cousin, Mr. and Mrs. Steve Barrett of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper, age 64, of 131 Robin Drive, Cordele, Georgia. Again, the family of Miss Estella Williams of New Rochelle, New York, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Mr. Henry Patterson, age 85, of 2006 Roney Street, Americus, Georgia, died Sunday, January 5th, at his residence in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Miss Donna Patterson of Americus, Georgia, Miss Gina Thornton, and Miss Tina Tatum, both of Warner Robins, Georgia. Miss Melanie Patterson of Americus, Georgia. 18 beloved grandchildren. 29 great-grandchildren. His beloved sisters, Mrs. Cynthia London, Mrs. Lucy Prince, and Miss Deborah Johnson, all of Hartford, Connecticut. His beloved brothers, Mr. Charlie London and Mr. John London, both of Hartford, Connecticut. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Henry Patterson, age 85, of 2006 Roney Street, Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Henry Patterson, age 85, will be held Saturday, January 25th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Whole Truth International Ministries in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend George F. Muntz Jr., will officiate. The burial will follow at the Eastview Cemetery in Americus, Georgia. The public visitation will be Friday, January 24th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson, age 71, of 627 South Gordon Street, Ashburn, Georgia, died Thursday, January 16th, at the 10th Regional Medical Center in Tifton, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband, Mr. John Lawson of Ashburn, Georgia, her loving and devoted children, Mr. Rico Lawson and his wife, Mrs. Tam Lawson of Ashburn, Georgia, Mr. Shepard Hillman of Africa, and Miss Gloria Martin and her husband, Mr. Derek Martin of Ashburn, Georgia. 5 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, 3 beloved sisters, Miss Inez Thomas of Tifton, Georgia, Miss Tommy King, and Miss Wanda Lawson, both of Ashburn, Georgia. A host of devoted nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends, to include Miss Ernestine Hicktrick of Florida, Miss Patricia Holmes of Valdosta, Georgia, and Miss Annie Pearl T of Ashburn, Georgia. Survived Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson, age 71, of 627 South Gordon Street, Ashburn, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson, age 71, will be held Saturday, January 25th at 3:30 p.m. in the sanctuary of the new Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Coverdale, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Jerry Braswell, will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, January 24th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford, age 54, of 11949 Markham Way, Hampton, Georgia, died Saturday, January 11th, in Warner Robins, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Miss Tara Alston of Hampton, Georgia, his beloved stepchildren, Miss Chessa Alston and Miss Jacayla Alston, 5 beloved grandchildren, a beloved sister, Miss Darlene Ford, his devoted brothers, Mr. John Ford Sr. and his wife, Mrs. Arnett Ford, and Mr. Bernard Ford, his sisters-in-law, Miss Sonia Alston and Miss Dominique Alston, his beloved aunts, and a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived. Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford, age 54, of 11949 Markham Way, Hampton, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford, age 54, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Mother Juanita Louise Lawson Deans, age 86, of 925 Fifth Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia, died Saturday, January 18th, at the HCA Florida Memorial Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. Survivors include her loving and devoted daughters, Mrs. Shirley Deans Favor of Quincy, Florida, Mrs. Melinda Griffin, and her husband, Mr. William Griffin of Eastman, Georgia, Miss Sylvia Smith and her husband, Mr. Charles Smith, Miss Jane Deans, Miss Natasha Deans, and Miss Robin Deans, all of Rochelle, Georgia. Her beloved and devoted sons, Mr. Dwayne Deans, Sr. of Rochelle, Georgia, and Mr. Stacy Deans of Tifton, Georgia. A host of beloved grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. Her loving and caring sibling, Mrs. Francine Dixon, Mrs. Lizzie Queen Johnson, Mrs. Jeanette Miller, all of Rochelle, Georgia, Miss Linda Lawson, and Mrs. Queen Woodham and her husband, Deacon John Woodham, and Mr. Kenneth Lawson, all of Abbeville, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mother Juanita Louise Lawson Deans, age 86, of 925 Fifth Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Juanita Louise Lawson Deans, age 86, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors, serving Cordele and Vienna, are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Now for an outer area funeral notice. The funeral service for retired United States Army veteran Mr. Tommy Clark of Columbus, Georgia, will be held Saturday, January 25th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the New Testament Christian Center in Columbus, Georgia. He is the husband of Mrs. Jo Carol Boatwright Clark. Locally, he's survived by his beloved mother-in-law, Mother Evelyn Lewis, and other members of the Boatwright and Lewis family. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
And now for announcements. The Old Mount Zion Hardshell Baptist Church Unadilla will host a Martin Luther King Jr. celebration today, beginning at 2 o'clock p.m. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Sister Elizabeth Jones, Secretary, Brother Edwin Whitehead, Vice Chairman, Brother Kirby Reagan, Chairman of Trustees. The Ebenezer Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation to all surrounding churches and the public to join them on Sunday, January 19th at 11 o'clock a.m. for the observance of their annual Family and Friends Day service. Reverend Samuel Stokes, pastor. Deacon Morris McClendon is the chairman of deacons. The St. Mark Baptist Church of Vienna, the first anniversary of its pastor, Reverend James Jordan, will be held today, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Dr. Beverly Bolden will be the guest speaker. Deacon Albert King Jr., chairman of deacons, Reverend James Jordan Sr. is the pastor. The Spring Hill Baptist Church of Tippettville annual Family and Friends Day will be Sunday, January 19th today, beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Reverend Choice Cobb, pastor, will deliver the message. Dinner will be served. Sister Mary Ann Lewis, secretary. Mother Martha Mills, church mother. Deacon Choice Cobb Jr., chairman of deacons. Reverend Choice Cobb Sr. is the pastor. The Mount Moriah Baptist Church of Jwwilliams' second pastoral anniversary honoring Pastor Edward and First Lady Shelba Lester will be held on Sunday, February the 2nd at 1:30 p.m. New Travelers Home Baptist Church of Hawkinsville and Pastor Gary Lucas will be in charge of the service. Sister Linda Ann Jordan, mission president. Deacon Earl Jordan, chairman of deacons. Pastor Edward Lester is the pastor. Freedom Harvest Prayer Breakfast will be Saturday, January 25th at 10 a.m. Pastor David Ham, pastor of the Perry Grove Baptist Church, will be the guest speaker. Dr. Georgia W. Deriso is the pastor. The Antioch Baptist Church of Pineview annual Family and Friends Day program will be on Sunday, January 26th today at 2 o'clock p.m. The Mount Beulah Baptist Church and Reverend Keith Mathis will be the guest church. Everyone is cordially invited to attend. Dinner will be served. Sister Kathy T. Daniels, reporter. Dr. James E. Jamerson is the pastor. The St. John AME Church of Plains, Georgia annual Family and Friends Day pre-Super Bowl Sunday will be Sunday, February the 2nd. At 11:15 a.m., Reverend Donna D. Baker, District Consultant of the Eastern District, will be the guest speaker. Reverend Shirley Strawler is the senior pastor. The New Beulah Baptist Church of Lee County annual Men and Women's Day celebration will be observed on Sunday, February the 2nd at 11 o'clock a.m. Reverend Gary Sanders of Albany will be the guest minister. Sister Rosemary Jones, secretary. Deacon Bobby Robinson Jr., chairman of deacons. Reverend Christopher Perry is the pastor. The Women Deliverance Ministry Reunited in Love Banquet will be Saturday, February 8th at 6 o'clock p.m. at Leslie Civic Center in Leslie. Featured on program will be Bishop George Edge of the Restoration Church and Pastor Angela Zanders of Anointed Hearts Church. For any additional information, please contact Dr. Georgia Deriso at 229-942-2509 or Sister Mary Thomas at 229-938-5531. The New William Grove Baptist Church 29th church anniversary and 8th anniversary of its pastor, Reverend Nikita Lester, will climax today at 2 o'clock p.m. with the St. James and Crossroad Baptist Church and Reverend Nelson Maynor in charge of the service. Dinner will be served. Sister Linda Maddox, secretary. Mother Gradine Ford, church mother. Deacon Winfred Green, chairman of deacons. Reverend Nikita Lester is the pastor. The Albany Alumni and Delta Tho chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and Eta Omicron and Chi Epsilon chapters of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated soup, sandwiches, and socks and hats giveaway will be on Monday, January 20th from 10 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church Annex located at 108 Joe Wright Drive. And this celebration this year and this day of service is given in memory of Mrs. Rondela West. Everyone is invited to stop by. The Shady Grove Baptist Church 50 men in black, 50 women in white service will be Sunday, January 26th at 2:30 p.m. Dr. Antoine Yao, pastor of the Oak Ridge Baptist Church, will be the guest speaker. Deacon Sammy Mumphrey, chairman of deacons. Reverend Kelvin E. Drake Sr. is the pastor. The 36th anniversary honoring Bishop and First Lady Melvin McCluster will begin on Sunday, January 26th. At 2 o'clock p.m., Reverend David Ham will be the guest speaker. The celebration will conclude on Sunday, February 23rd at 10 o'clock a.m. with Bishop Henry Moore delivering the message. At 1 o'clock p.m., Reverend Larry Sims will deliver the message. Everyone is cordially invited to attend and share in the 36th anniversary celebration. Bishop Melvin McCluster is the pastor. A Moment in Black History Gospel Musical will be held on Sunday, February 23rd at 4 p.m. at Mount Calvary Baptist Church. Groups on program will be the Gospel Stars of Lily, the Gospel Travelers of Oakfield, Truly Blessed of Albany, Pastor Rosa Sanford of Cordele, Next Level, the Gospel Saints, and more. Reverend Isaac Owens is the host pastor. Brother Norris Mathis' 18th Gospel Anniversary will be Sunday, February 23rd at 4 o'clock p.m. at St. James Baptist Church. On program will be the Gospel Travelers of Oakfield, Highly Favored of Warner Robins, the Jenkins Jubilee of Americas, Truly Blessed of Albany, Chosen Voices of Montezuma, the Gospel Pioneers, the Gospel Stars, Bubba and the Violinaires of Chester, Georgia. For more information, please contact Minister Gloria W. Mathis at 229-947-1516 or Brother Norris Mathis at 229-417-0034. The doors will open at 3 o'clock p.m. Reverend Nelson Maynor, host pastor. The Historical Awards Committee of Cordele, Crisp County Black History Display walkthrough of some famous Black Americans from Crisp County will be Saturday, February 8th at 11 a.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. at Blackshear Place. There will be door prizes, free hot dogs, chips, and sodas. Come out and learn more about Crisp County Black history. Former Commissioner A.J. Rivers, founder, Deacon Tommy Ford Jr., president. Everyone has a cordial invitation to worship at the Greater Mars Tabernacle Baptist Church today. Sunday school at 9 a.m., worship service at 9:30 a.m. The conference call, you may join them during their conference call during the week, Tuesday midday prayer, 12 o'clock noon. For more information, for the conference call number, 229-329-7611. Mother Mary Henderson, Church Mother, Deacon Arthur Parker, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. K. Jwwilliams is the pastor. Everyone is cordially invited to worship at the Mount Zion First African Baptist Church today, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Deacon Joe Wedges, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. Dan James III is the pastor. The Gethsemane Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation for you to worship with them today, beginning at 10:30 a.m. Deacon Johnny Wilson, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Cecil Straughter is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the New Oak Grove Baptist Church today, Sunday school at 9:15 a.m., worship service at 10 o'clock a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. The Gum Creek Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation for you to worship with them today at 10:30 a.m. Mother Norma Solomon, Church Mother, Deacon Zachary Fields, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Joseph Hagerbrook is the pastor. The St. Paul Presbyterian Church extends a cordial invitation for you to worship with them today, beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Pastor Ovita Hageman is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Olive Baptist Church today, Sunday school at 9 a.m., worship service at 10 a.m. Mother Willie Mae Walker, Church Mother, Deacon Jimmy Fagan, Chairman of Deacons, Bishop Jerome Milton is the pastor. The Emmanuel Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday, with Sunday school at 10 o'clock a.m., worship service at 11:15 a.m. Bible study is held each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mother Willie McGill, Church Mother, Reverend Gregory Williams is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church today in observance of the annual Family and Friends Day. The Sunday school begins at 9:45 a.m. Worship service begins at 10:45 a.m. Dr. Shakidra Little Harris will be the guest speaker, and everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Deaconess Linda G. Rollins, Family Day Chairlady, Deacon Leon Spears, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Isaac H. Owens is the pastor. We'd like to remind you, coming up on tomorrow, our annual celebration honoring the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Cordele Crisp County branch of the NAACP will have a day of service beginning at 10:30 a.m. and the event will take place at the historic Gillespie Selden building here in Cordele. The Cordele Police Department will be there, and they will be issuing IDs for all children up to the age of 15. We'll also have the Crisp County Fire Department will be there to do blood pressure checks and other areas and agencies of our community will be there as we will make this a true day of service where we will serve our community. Everyone is cordially invited to come out and be a part of this day of service, which will begin at 10:30 a.m. at the historic Gillespie Selden Building, sponsored by the Cordial Crisp branch of the NAACP. We'd also like to remind all of our citizens of our scheduling that you may join the Jwwilliams Funeral Home program each Sunday morning beginning at 7 o'clock a.m. here on our local TV station. You're also invited to join us at 7:30 a.m. on WBEC Radio 94.7 in Americas for our Sunday morning program that begins at 7:30 a.m. on the radio. So even while you're traveling, you will have the opportunity to listen to us on the radio. The program begins at 7:30 a.m. until 8 o'clock a.m. And as always, you may join us on the J.W. Williams Funeral Home YouTube channel, as well as the J.W. Williams Funeral Home Facebook page. If you have announcements that you would like for us to share, please get those announcements to us. You may send them to us by fax at 229-273-5111, or you may email them to us at info@jwwilliams.com. info@jwwilliams.com. And as always, you may drop them by the funeral home up until 12 o'clock noon on Sunday morning. We'd also like to announce to all of our friends in our community that the J.W. Williams Funeral Home calendar for the 2025 year is available. Please stop by the funeral home to pick up your calendar for 2025. You may come by the funeral home Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 to 5 p.m. and you may get a copy of this year's J.W. Williams Funeral Home calendar. That concludes our announcements for this morning.
And now for dedications. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: in loving memory of Mrs. Mamie Rose Royal, who departed this life January 12, 2012, and would have celebrated her birthday January 18. Dedication requested by her beloved family, the Royal family, and the members of the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church, as we pause and remember the lives and service of Mrs. Mamie Rose Royal, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Ella Mae Brooks Paul, who departed this life January 21st, 2013. Dedication requested by her beloved children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, the entire Brooks, Strickland, Paul, and Owens family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Jwwilliams Williams, who departed this life January 14, 2023. Dedication requested by the Williams family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mother Carrie L. Clay, who departed this life January 14, 1997. Dedication requested by the Clay family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mrs. Eva Pearl Gaston, who would have celebrated her birthday January 18. Dedication requested by the Gaston family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory of Mrs. Rosa Lee Jones, who departed this life January 18, 1981. Dedication requested by her beloved daughter, Miss Dorothy Rose Jones, and the entire family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of little Regina Jones Denard, who would have celebrated her birthday January 18 and departed this life January 18, 1964. Dedication requested by the Denard and Jones family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory, Mr. John Turner, who departed this life January 19, 1992. Dedication requested by the Turner family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory of Mrs. Mary McCray, who departed this life January 20, 1987. Dedication requested by the Lofton and Mays family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mother Frances Francis Williams, who departed this life January 20th, 2021. Dedication requested by her beloved children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the entire family. Gone but not forgotten. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following. Happy birthday to Mr. Robert P. Dennis, who celebrated his birthday Wednesday, January 15th. Dedication requested by his children, grandchildren, the Dennis and Colson family. Happy birthday to Mr. Willie Lee Colson, who celebrated his birthday Thursday, January 16th. Dedication requested by his children, the Dennis and Colson family. Happy birthday to Chairman Deacon Sammy McGill, who celebrated his birthday Thursday, January 16th. Dedication requested by his wife, Deaconess Shanice McGill, the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, the entire McGill family, the members of the Mount Moriah Baptist Church, where he serves as chairman of the Board of Deacons, Deacon Sammy McGill, Thursday, January 16th. Happy birthday, Brother Deacon, and many, many more. Happy birthday to Miss Val Royal, who celebrated her birthday Friday, January 17th. Also, happy birthday to Mr. Frederick Royal, who celebrated his birthday Friday, January 17th. Dedication requested by the Royal, Lawton, and Epps family. Happy birthday to Miss Betty Epps, who celebrated her birthday Friday, January 17th. Dedication requested by the Lawton and Epps families. Happy birthday to Mr. Benjamin Carter, better known as Early Bird, who celebrated his birthday Saturday, January 18th. Dedication requested by the Carter family. Happy birthday to Stuart Payton Bill Jr., who celebrated his birthday Saturday, January 18th. Dedication comes from his sister, Mrs. Carolyn Bill Thomas, and the entire Bill and Harris family. Happy birthday to Stuart Payton Bill Jr. Happy birthday to Mr. Dedrick Quarterman, who will celebrate his birthday Tuesday, January 21st. Dedication requested by the Quarterman, Lawton, and Epps family. Happy birthday to Miss Janice Sales, who will celebrate her birthday Wednesday, January 22nd. Dedication requested by the Sales family. Happy birthday to Miss Alexis Wingfield, who will celebrate her birthday Thursday, January 23rd. Dedication requested by the Wingfield family. And happy birthday to Mr. James Bleach, who will celebrate his birthday Friday, January 25th. Dedication requested by his wife, Ms. Gayla Bleach, and the entire family. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: Deacon James Smith and family, Deacon George Jordan and family, and his son, Deacon Jerome Jordan and family, Vienna, Georgia. Mr. and Mrs. A.J. Rivers and family, Deacon and Mrs. Willie James Patrick and family, Mother Willie Mae Leary and family of Hatley, Georgia, Mother Martha Ruth Westbrook and family of Araby, Georgia, Brother Nemrich Brown and family, Deacon and Mrs. Joe Brown and family, Brother Leon Hawkins and family of Americus, Georgia, and his mother, Mother Melan Hawkins, and the entire Hawkins family, the Brown and Fields family of Araby, Georgia, Bishop and Mrs. Arthur West and family of Araby, Georgia, the Reverend Willie E. Lockett and Sister Helen Lockett and family of Albany, Georgia, Deacon and Mrs. Earl Lockett and family, Mr. Lewis Kennedy and family, and his brother, Mr. Tommy Kennedy and family. Our first selection this morning goes out to the Honorable Juanita Kinchin, Mayor of the City of Warwick, Georgia. Mother Willie Mae Walker and family, Deacon and Mrs. Jimmy Fagan and family, Ms. Judith Walker and family, the Reverend and Mrs. Dion Jones and family, Mrs. Aletha Askew, church clerk and trustee of the New Oak Grove Baptist Church, Deaconess Martha A. Cross and family, Brother Mark Westbrook and family. Special dedication goes out to Mrs. Wanda Edward Stevens of Savannah, Georgia, and her husband, who will be ordained for the work of the deacon in Savannah, Georgia. So congratulations to our own Mrs. Wanda Edward Stevens of Cordele and Savannah, Georgia. Mrs. Ethel Perry and family, Vienna, Georgia. Mother Van Esther Colson and family, the Reverend and Mrs. Ivory Corbin and family, Miss Bernice Laskin and family, Miss Claudia Waters and family, Miss Shirley Ray and family, Miss Willie Mae Craft and family, Deacon Eddie Byron and family, Miss Vivian Daniels and family, the Westbrook family, the Jones family, Mrs. Mary Frances Davis and family, Mrs. Shalonda Donaldson and family, Mr. Justin Colbert and family, Miss Lavetta Fields and family, Miss Gwen Gaston and family, Deacon Joey Clark and family, Leslie, Georgia, Deacon Oscar Cooks, chairman of the Board of Deacons of the Friendship Baptist Church of DeSoto, Georgia, Mrs. Mashonda Holmes and family, Miss Burl Patrick and family, Mother Willie McGill and family, Miss Mary Taylor and family, Mrs. Rashida Fields and family, Miss Debbie Cross and family, Mrs. Tommy Glenn and family, Miss Teresa Stubbins and family, Mrs. Norma Solomon and family, Mrs. Angela Solomon and family, the Reverend Woody and Mrs. Patricia Barnum and the members of St. King's Baptist Church, Mrs. Mary Applin and family, Judge Gail Sims and family, Brother John Leon Hughes and the members of the Church of Christ at Hilltop, Mrs. Thelma Hopper and family, Mrs. Edna Clay and family, Mr. Keith Muntz and family of Americus, Georgia, Miss Edna Mae Cooks and family, Mother Pearl Reed and family, Deacon Charlie and Sister Johnny Mae Westbrook and family, Mother Mamie Robinson and family, Mrs. Elizabeth Water, retired educator of the Chris County School System, Deacon Emery Wright and family, and the entire Wright family of Albany and Lee County, Georgia. Our first selection for this morning goes out to the Talbot family, Deacon and Mrs. John Stubbs and family, Deacon and Mrs. Donald Talbot and family, and Mrs. Juanita Talbot and family. Our first selection for this morning. Second, I'd like to thank Brother Kelvin Pless of Americus, Georgia, and the members of the Mary Gospel Workshop for presenting our selection for this morning. Our next selection this morning is dedicated to the following: Mr. Willie B. Barnes and family of Vienna, Georgia, Mr. and Mrs. Harry Henderson and family, Miss Gloria Lester and family, Mr. Willie James Perry and family, Mrs. Willie B. Brown and family, Mrs. Beatrice Walker and family, Miss Gracie Walker and family, Mrs. Shirley Pearl Walker and family, the Reverend Revis McLaren and family, Deacon and Mrs. Oscar James and family, Mr. and Mrs. Wilbert Whitehead and family, Mrs. Prescilla Whitehead Hill and Kendrick Hill and family, Mr. Larry Collier and family, Mr. Charles Collier and family, Mr. and Mrs. Carl Henry and family, Mrs. George Marchman and family, the family of the late Brother Fred Hatter, Mr. Doobie Peacock and family, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Peacock Sr. and family, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Peacock Jr. and family, Mrs. Annie Lewis and family, the family of the late Mother Pearlie May Perry of Vienna, Georgia, the Harry L. family, the J.B. Kendrick family, Mrs. Connie Corrine Bell Smith and family, Deacon and Mrs. David Leary and family, Mrs. Walter Leary and family, the Reverend Jerry Sanders and family, and the members of the Bethlehem Baptist Church of Dooling, Georgia, Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Brown and family, Miss Pauline Bryan and family, Mrs. Carrie McGee and family, the Reverend Walter Carter family of Vienna, Georgia, Mrs. Evelyn Green and family, Miss Shirley Killings and family, Dr. George Cleveland and family, Mr. Willie Cooper and family, the family of the late Deacon Vet T. Crane of Pinehurst, Georgia, Mr. and Mrs. Tommy Thomas and family, the Abby Bivens family, the Martin family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Jordan and families, Mary Nell London and family, Mrs. Virginia Hill Montfrey and family, the family of the late Pastor Kathy Griffins, members of the Trials of Faith Deliverance Holiness Church of Vienna, Georgia, Mrs. Georgia Bryan and family, Mrs. Bessie Byram and family, Ms. Paula Hayes and family, Mrs. Anna Armstrong and family, Mrs. Pearlie Wallace and family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Green and family, Mrs. Rosa Crane and family, Mr. William Green and family, Mr. James Lester and family, the Emerson family, the Reverend Willie Green and his beloved mother and family of Americus, Georgia, Mrs. Willie Mae Cobb and family, Mr. and Mrs. Lynn Thomas and family, Mrs. Eddie Mathis and family, Miss Leslie Williams and family, Deacon and Mrs. Lonnie Anderson and family, Miss Corrine West and family, Mr. and Mrs. Sammy Lewis and family, Mrs. Margaret Whitehead and family, Mr. and Mrs. Ernie Cheney and family, Mrs. Leela Lewis and family, Mr. Homer Swain and family, Mr. Kenneth Lester and family of Byronville, Georgia, the Army Lester family of Byronville, Georgia. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Mr. Henry Patterson, age 85, of 2006 Roney Street, Americus, Georgia, died Sunday, January 5th, at his residence in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Henry Patterson, age 85, will be held Saturday, January 25th at 10 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Whole Truth International Ministries in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend George F. Muntz, Jr., will officiate. The burial will follow at the Eastview Cemetery in Americus, Georgia. The public visitation will be Friday, January 24th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson, age 71, of 627 South Gordon Street, Ashburn, Georgia, died Thursday, January 16, at the Tiff Regional Medical Center in Tifton, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson, age 71, will be held Saturday, January 25th at 3:30 p.m. in the sanctuary of the New Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Coverdale, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Jerry Braswell, will officiate. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, January 24th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford, age 54, of 11949 Markham Way, Hampton, Georgia, died Saturday, January 11th in Warner Robins, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford, age 54, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangement. Mrs. Juanita Lawson Deans, age 86, of 925 Fifth Avenue, Rochelle, Georgia, died Saturday, January 18th at the HCA Florida Memorial Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. The funeral service for Mrs. Juanita Dean Lawson, age 86, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Our next and final selection for this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Miss Estelle Williams of New Rochelle, New York, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Stuart Alfred Douglas Hopper of Cordele, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Mr. Henry Patterson of Americus, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Gloria Jean Lawson of Ashburn, Georgia. The family of Mr. Michael Tyrone Ford of Hampton, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mother Juanita Louise Lawson Deans of Rochelle, Georgia. This election is dedicated to all of the sick and shut-in, to all patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers, to our beloved ministers and their devoted family members, to all retired educators, to the men and women serving in armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program on each Sunday morning. It's a pleasure for us to bring it to you. Our program goes out in memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams, to my wife, Mrs. Commander Wilkerson Parker, to my son, Jai Wilkerson Parker. This election goes out to my brother, retired Chief Master Sergeant Norman F. Dexter, and to his wife, Dr. Gwendolyn Maxine Dexter, and grandson, Noble, and again to Norman, who celebrated a birthday during this past week. Let's say happy birthday, and many, many more. This message goes out to my sister, Mrs. Patsy Jackson, and her husband, Mr. Jim Jackson, of Cordele, Georgia. Goes out to my niece, Mrs. Vera Mathis, and to Mrs. Florine Manning, and the entire Manning and Mumphrey family. Goes out to Mrs. Rosalind Johnson Porter and family this morning. Goes out to my nephew, Deacon Kenneth Smith, program chairman of the Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church. Goes out to our pastor, Dr. K.M. Williams, his wife, Sister Kathy Williams, and the entire Williams family. To our son, the Reverend Christopher Williams, pastor of the Antioch Baptist Church of Cuthbert, Georgia. This selection goes out to our beloved Mr. Easter Bay Sanders and family, to Mr. Cleveland R. Lemon, oldest staff member of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. I'd like to say Happy New Year to Mr. Cleveland R. Lemon, steward of the Bethel CME Church here in the city of Cordele, Georgia. This selection goes out to our friend and brother, long-standing, the Reverend Janet Dean, pastor of the New Poplar Springs Baptist Church of Byronville, Georgia. Goes out to our brothers, the Reverend Jimmy Charles Montfred, chairman of the Board of Deacons of the Crossroad Baptist Church. Goes out to his pastor, the Reverend Nelson Main, and his wife, and the entire Maynard family. This selection goes out to the family of the late Mother Sally Taylor of Vienna, Georgia. Ms. Martha Clay, Deacon and Mrs. John Eddie Wiggins and family. Ms. Geraldine Johnson and family. Deacon William and Sister Robbie Durham and family. Mr. and Mrs. Sammy Hill and family. Mrs. Geraldine Harvey and family. Our final selection for this morning. God bless you. Remember to pick up your calendars. Historical calendars of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home is now available for the 2025 year. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you've enjoyed our program. Tune in again on next Sunday morning. And remember, in your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.